they're pretty much doing their job. But I mean, people get scared, and being the fact that there's so much crazy stuff going on, everybody's scared. So.
911, what's your emergency?
But they risking their lives for us. They're going out on the line just to protect people.
I'm Grady Judge, Sheriff Polk County. I chose to be a law enforcement officer because I wanted to help people, because I wanted to make a positive difference in our community, because I wanted to stand in the gap between good people and evil people and protect the weak, protect those who could not protect and take care of themselves.
They put their lives on the line every day.
I mean, how many people every day do you know that will jump out of their car and chase somebody that they don't know what they have on them or if they're going to be fired at?
The overwhelming majority of law enforcement officers get up every day. They put on that badge to protect and serve.
1 minute, would you do it? Would you just get out of the car and chase a stranger?
I've been doing this for 27 years. The job really for law enforcement is 99% boredom and 1% terror. Just like they were saying, that he could be sitting here and driving down the road bored, and next thing you know, they dispatch that call about a shooting, and you're 1 block from it. You've gone from boredom to terror. Now you're into an uncontrolled situation, having to answer a call that you don't know any of the players, who's involved, what's going on at that time.
When we hire people from society to become law enforcement officers, we hire risk takers. Do you know why? Normal people won't do this job. So I say normal people in the sense that most people aren't overt risk takers. Law enforcement officers are. Law enforcement officers will run into a bar full of drunks throwing bottles and chairs and fighting. Law enforcement officers will walk into an alarm call in the middle of the night at a warehouse, knowing a burglar is there. Law enforcement officers will run into gunfire while everyone else is running away. That's what I know about law enforcement officers. We hire risk takers, and then we train them to funnel that risk so that these law enforcement officers have family and loved ones just like everyone else in society. And they want to go home at the end of their workday safe and secure. I also know that these law enforcement officers don't want to take a life in the line of duty, and most never will. And the ones that do usually put themselves in great peril and don't use that force as soon as they should to protect themselves, because they try everything else first, which they should, so that they don't have to use deadly force.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to shake your hand and tell you thank you for what you do. Thanks for keeping us safe, man.
Thank you.
This stuff on the internet right now, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I appreciate you guys, though. Thanks a lot.
So when we look at law enforcement officers, we see people who care, people who will put their life on the line to protect the community.
If it wasn't for them, a lot of people would be dead. Plain and simple.
We see people who go out every day and do a job that most absolutely refuse to do. There are 2 instances where law enforcement officers most often get hurt: domestic violence calls and traffic stops. We train, we follow our protocols, and the vast majority of the time, it works correctly. When it doesn't, we die. Are law enforcement officers killed every year, over and over and over? Absolutely.
You definitely do not want a world without law enforcement, because that's your safety net. Like our sheriff always says, this same guy will write you a ticket at 2 o'clock and at 3 o'clock he'll take a bullet for you.
Well, the people that pose a danger to us pay no attention to society's rules. So it's not unusual that they are among those that are likely to not obey the rules when driving the vehicle. We deal with everyone we stop as if this is the one that could potentially shoot you when you walked up to the door. And quite frankly, that's why we train. When we train to be safe, it doesn't mean we can't be ambushed, because it happens every year over and over again. And the main thing we have to remember is we are called to those scenes to intervene in an uncontrollable event and bring control to chaos. And sometimes you have to use force. But we're appropriately trained to use the right force at the right time for the right reason. You know that when you put that uniform on, risking your life to keep others safe and away from harm are worth the risk. And you know there's risk. And the risk doesn't come from the overwhelming majority of the 300 million plus people that live in the United States. They appreciate us and are glad we do the job. The risk comes from a very, very, very small percentage of people in the United States who pose a risk to whoever they interact with. So are those people there? Yes. We train to deal with them, but occasionally they ambush us. They take us by surprise. And that's normally when a law enforcement officer gets killed.